What began as simple dirt stacks in early beta has grown into sprawling, hyper-detailed megastructures built block by block. With each new update, new materials, mechanics, and ideas reshaped what builders could imagine and create. So how did we get here? Before the days of sprawling mega bases, custom textures, and shaders that make Minecraft look better than real life, we had cobblestone, and if you were feeling extra fancy, logs. Welcome to the dark ages of Minecraft building. Minecraft's early days were rough, but charming. There was no creative mode, no world edit, no slabs and stairs beyond the single cobblestone and wooden ones that barely did the job. Your choices for materials were dirt, stone, and if you were adventurous, wood planks. What did most players build? They built holes in the walls, holes in the floors. A dirt hut could have been your first house. A cobblestone cube could have been the upgraded version. And if you really went off the rails, you might have built a weird tower with no ladders. This era of Minecraft also had a lot of new additions, which revolutionized building. There were the new wool colors, which were the first real decorative blocks, doors and rails. You didn't have to punch a hole into the side of your house. Stairs and slabs, which really helps you add depth to your builds. Fences and ladders, so multi-story builds were practical, and you could finally fence in your animals. And then there was the addition of the nether and glowstone. This era of building is really just defined by dirt huts and cobblestone cubes. Builders struggled with the limited block choices, and depth and decoration didn't exist. Everything was flat and functional. After that, there was the creative mode revolution. Minecraft builders had a problem. Everything looked like a medieval prison or a box with a door. And that's when creative mode changed everything about Minecraft building. Suddenly, size wasn't an issue as you didn't need to collect the materials, and the community said, what if we just build the biggest thing possible? Or the bougiest? I see you, people who built diamond houses. But once creative mode arrived, restraint disappeared. People went from building tiny survival shacks to mega cities and castles overnight. Suddenly there were massive temples, floating islands, and impossible structures. Because why build small when you have infinite amounts of blocks? And this was the first time where building in Minecraft went from survival to an art form. And while detail was still kind of lacking, the scale was mind-blowing and beautiful. Through creative mode, there were infinite blocks and infinite possibilities. Some notable additions of this era were quartz blocks, which were the first clean modern building block, and mob heads were the first true decoration blocks. There's so many things that you could do with mob heads even to this day. I personally love custom player heads to add a little bit of spice to the builds. Item frames also brought about a way to display things in your builds. Beacon blocks made a beautiful light beam up in the sky, and it really makes your builds feel legendary. With the beacon, you could get faster mining, faster running, jump boost. It all really helps with building. And for this era in building, what this all meant was that massive builds took over for the first time. Redstone engineering started booming. Creative mode pushed Minecraft into the building game status from the survival game status, and it really made Minecraft feel like a fully built sandbox. And the thing was, that was fine. Building was better, but then it wasn't. People started looking at their giant castles made in creative mode, and they realized that they kinda weren't good. So instead of focusing on the sheer scale, builders started asking, how do we make things look good? Alongside updates, mods quietly pushed building even further. World edit, shaders, and custom blocks taught an entire generation how to think bigger, even if they never used them in survival. And this was where the age of details was born. The most important aesthetic update in Minecraft history, the World of Color update, came out, and suddenly builders could control color in their house in ways that we've never seen before. Bright concrete blocks replaced the ugly wool. Glazed terracotta introduced patterns, and banners let people to create custom flags, curtains, decorations, and even money. Per blocks and end cities gave us a fantasy block palette for sci-fi builds, and also gave people who might not be in the online community a bit of inspiration for different kinds of builds, because these builds are inherently in the game. Stained glass was added, which allowed cathedrals, modern windows, and mosaics to exist. And then custom banners were the first fully customizable decoration in Minecraft, and still one of the only. This era of building meant that aesthetic building finally became possible, color became a real tool, and people stopped just building big. They started building beautifully. This was when Minecraft got style. Minecraft stopped looking like a survivalist's fever dream and started looking like a game where people actually cared about aesthetics. In 1.8, slime blocks were added, new doors, banners. In 1.9, per blocks and entities were added, and in 1.12, color was revolutionized. Right now, we're at around 2018, and at this point, we had big builds, we had detailed builds. But what if we built things that actually functioned? When builders started thinking about the logistics of how they built, not just what they built, the structural revolution in Minecraft came about. Building in survival mode had always been a pain, but scaffolding really changed the game forever. Suddenly, large-scale builds didn't require ugly dirt pillars or painstakingly placing every single block while holding shift over 100 block drop. This era also introduced stripped wood, which quickly became one of the most used textures in the game, especially for fantasy and rustic builds, which thrive in Minecraft. The notable updates of this era were waterlogging, which actually made underwater bases possible, made pools look so much better, made shipwrecks able to be a thing. I love waterlogging so much. Also, what were added were new stairs and walls. Builders got dozens of new material and new blocks to play with, all the different stone variations, these new stairs and walls. This era of building is marked by creating large survival towns using efficient scaffolding construction. This is when Hermitcraft builds became bigger and better. This era of building is defined by survival megabases. Builders started constructing massive structures in survival mode thanks to scaffolding and waterlogging. People also started making underwater cities. The aquatic update made underwater areas beautiful with the new coral reefs and made underwater bases more immersive than ever before. But that's then. What about now? Although 2020 is quite a few years in the past, something unexpected happened in 2020. The pandemic. During the pandemic, Minecraft became more than a game. It was an escape. Millions of players returned to the game to find their comfort in creativity, world building, and nostalgia. Whether it was people recreating their hometowns in survival, starting a massive SMP project with friends, or just building cozy little cabins to pass the time, Minecraft saw a huge cultural resurgence. But it wasn't just about people coming back. The game itself was evolving faster than ever. Starting in 1.16, Mojang delivered some of the most builder-focused updates in history, introducing darker and moodier materials in the game, like blackstone and basalt. At the same time, Minecraft content creation exploded, with more people watching the SMP series on YouTube and Twitch than ever before. This era wasn't about new blocks, though. It was about building communities, storytelling, and pushing creative limits, allowing players to create more immersive environments than ever before. The addition of copper gave buildings realistic aging mechanics, making steampunk, industrial, and abandoned aesthetics feel more natural. Mud bricks and mangrove wood gave life to swamp biomes, while cherry blossom trees brought long-awaited pink wood, unlocking entirely new design styles. Other notable additions of the time were deep slate and amethyst. And defining this era of building was hyper-realistic and fantasy builds. And there were a lot of social and collaborative building. So there were massive community-driven creations. It wasn't just about building cool things, it was about connection. For many players, Minecraft became a way to stay creative, socialize, and process a changing world. And while things have returned to normal, the impact of this time on Minecraft building culture is still felt today. With each new update, Minecraft expands its building potential, introducing fresh materials and mechanics that shape how players create. The 1.18 update had an incredible impact on Minecraft. It increased world generation from 256 blocks to 320 blocks, hugely impacting how large you can make your structures. This is only the beginning for Minecraft. It aims to be the first 100-year game. What could be next? Perhaps there might be more procedurally generated terrain overhauls, better mountains, rivers, and biome blending. They might update structures to make them more consistent with the current structures that are in the game. But just remember, we started this journey with dirt huts. Now Minecraft has cities, mega bases, and entire worlds shaped by creativity. But at its core, Minecraft is still about the one thing it was started with: placing blocks one at a time and building something amazing. What era of Minecraft defined your building styles, and what features do you hope to see next? Subscribe if you want to see more like this.